So let me begin this review by saying that I absolutely loved this episode way more than the first episode, even though it didn't actually contain any titans whatsoever. Moreover, there were very few flaws in the episode that actually looked irksome to me, so almost full marks to Studio Mappa from me this particular time, despite all the worries of a production meltdown. But that's something we'll talk about in another video, so for now, hello and welcome to Underwisey. My name is Soham and today we're going to talk about Attack on Titan Season 4 episode number 2. But before that, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to the channel since I do weekly anime and manga related content along with Attack on Titan reviews. We are trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, so like and sub would be massively appreciated. Now onto the video. Now I was pleasantly surprised by this particular episode because it didn't follow the linear manga chapter flow. This episode covered the entirety of manga chapter 93, half of chapter 94 and a portion of chapter 95. And I was quite taken aback by this particular decision. Even though I haven't reread these chapters in a while, but still when a couple of flashbacks didn't appear, I was quite perplexed, and then it dawned upon me that the studio is actually taking a little different approach and I'm absolutely fine with it. The episode actually felt a little too fast in the beginning as there were not a lot of breather moments, but I'm still fine with all of it. The animation here was stellar and there's a lot more movement this time in this particular episode, which was really great. Now the episode begins with the aftermath of the Marley Mid-Eastern War that concluded recently. I have actually made a video on this topic where I have explained the entirety of this particular war. You can watch this video by clicking the link in the description or in the I button. Now even though Marley actually won the war, but still the higher-ups were not actually happy with this victory because this was not a complete or an absolute victory. The once unstoppable and impenetrable armor titan was easily blasted off by the anti-titan cannons, and this actually made the Marley higher-ups realize that maybe, just maybe, the era of the titans were finally over and they needed to strengthen their military technology-wise, just like the outside world. Even though some scenes were omitted here and there, but still this was a very lore-heavy and plot-heavy episode that explains a lot of stuff that has been going on here. But at the end of the day, it's Zeke who interjects that this is the time when the warrior program should correct their mistake and this is the time when they should focus on the Paradis mission once again in order to take back the founding titan. And he's ready to do all of this because he wants to stop the legacy of his disgraced father. Again, I think that there were some scenes which were not included here, or maybe they'll be included in future episodes as a part of a flashback, so I'll not name them here in order to avoid a manga spoiler. But before I move on, I want to address the issue with Zeke. He's actually in the last year of his life as a titan, and in the manga he's actually having grey hair, which is a sign that his time is coming up. This is the reason why Colt is actually accompanying him in order to get tips and strategies from him. But in the anime, he's retaining his golden locks and he's actually looking a lot more youthful than his manga counterpart, like the cigarette smoking scene, which was really hilarious in my opinion. But to be very frank, I really don't know what to interpret with all of this. What do you guys think about this particular aspect of the show? Please mention your thoughts in the comment section below. But moving on, things move to the train part and we finally get to see the usual celebratory stuff. This was awesome as expected and the studio did a really great job with the lighting and shading here. But alas, this begins the mental derangement, or rather the mental frustration of Reiner, which begins with his conversation with Falco. Throughout this entire episode, Reiner is having like a PTSD-like syndrome, and I was really reminded of what Bertolt said in season 3 where Reiner's guilt, anxiety and mental frustration was getting the better of him. Here we also get a flashback scene which used a scene of the Wit studio with some additional effects. In another scene, Reiner also sees his childhood self and his childhood friends among Gabi and the others. But anyway, a little before that, Gabi and the Eldians return to the intermed zone by the train, and this train arriving in the city scene was the only CG part in the entirety of this episode which actually looked a little jarring to my taste. Again, it's alright, it's not a deal breaker for me, but it's just something which I thought I should mention here. PS, the Gabi jumping scene was absolutely fabulous, good job there Studio Mappa. But now for the most interesting part, this is finally the time when we get to see the point of view of the Eldians who are living inside Marley. And for me personally, this was a very bittersweet moment. Because at the end of the day, they are also humans. And the level of brainwashing that's been done here, it's just simply, well, I don't know, it just makes me speechless. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter which side you are from, whether you are from Eldia or whether you are from Marley or whether you are from any third party. The suffering remains the same of the poor people who have been brainwashed into hating the other people and calling them outright devils because they do not align with your particular ideological sense. But moving forward, we finally get a clear view of Galliard, who's looking pretty good in my opinion, and then comes the best girl peak. She's looking like an absolute queen here, and I really love this bit. Generally, her look here is amazing in the anime. The episode then finally ends with a scene from chapter 95 where the warriors are discussing their next move. There's a lot more that is going on in this episode as well, like the dinner table discussion, the traumatized soldiers, and many more stuff. But I'll probably talk about them in a future video. And lastly, I'll end this video by saying that he's here. Just that's it. He's here. And my excitement is over the roof at this particular moment. But just that's it. No more spoilers for the future. But that's all for the review of episode 2 of season 4 of Attack on Titan. What do you guys think about this particular episode? Please mention your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel for more. Once again, we are trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, so a like and sub would be massively appreciated. With that being said, this is Wonderwisey and I'll see you soon in the next video.